What is going on, everybody? So when we think about the most prestigious and the winningest programs in college football history, I think we all refer to Michigan, Notre Dame, of course, obviously Alabama. But what if I told you that the actual winningest and most prestigious program of all time was actually the Yale Bulldogs? Between 1874 and 1927, the Yale Bulldogs won 18 national championships, including, now brace yourself for these stats, 5 in a row, 8 in 9 years, and probably the most dominant season of all time in 1888 under Walter Camp, who is known as the father of American football, as their head coach. They went 13-0 by a score of 694-0. So starting next year in 2025, the Ivy League is going to end their century-long postseason ban and will enter into the college football playoff. Now, with that being said, I thought it would be really cool to rebuild Yale. Now, Yale's not currently in the game, so I did have to import them. But I thought it would be really cool to rebuild, like I said, what is the most prestigious program of all time and see if we can get them a national championship in this century. So let's see how it goes. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and show you my coach here. So obviously, Mr. Level Up, great name. We're going with the spread generic offense and a 3-2-6 defense. Show you the settings. We're going Heisman skill level. Everything else is pretty standard. I did set the quarter length to 6 minutes though. So let's go ahead and take a look at the team first, get an understanding of what we're working with. So 67 overall, 66 offense, 69 defense. We've got a senior 71 overall quarterback in Tyler Olson. We got Spencer Strickland at running back. Could use some speed here. Let's take a look at our fullback. Fullbacks were popular back in the day. Receiving depth, not a lot of speed there. We have a terrible tight end selection here with Mr. Scotty McClawler. All right, so our left tackle is not terrible. DeMarcus Perkins at guard. Okay. Jalen McDonald. I mean, what I'm seeing is our team is, it's okay on the offensive line right now. We got some juniors, some seniors, but the depth is awful. So we're definitely gonna have to focus on that in recruiting. Let's see, we got Josh Townsend, Kobe Garland. So our D ends are weak. Defensive tackle is weaker. Left outside linebacker. Okay, Taj Coles isn't terrible, 83 speed. Chase Freeman looks like he's probably our best player, the senior field general, 78, 81 speed. Octavius Terrell, cornerback. Ooh, look at this speed. We are lacking. Definitely an area we're gonna have to focus on. Honestly, same with free safety, strong safety. So yeah, as you can tell when you're looking through this this depth chart, there is not a lot of talent, but that's what you expect for a 67 overall team. We've got here, so basically looking at our best players, Chase Freeman, Demetrius Williamson at cornerback, but outside of that, not a lot of talent. So let's make our way over to that recruiting portal and start bringing in some talent. All right, here we go. So let's see what we have. So I usually go with about 15 to 20 prospects. I know everybody has their own expertise as it relates to the ways to recruit, but I sort of go through, see which ones are highest rated, try to highlight those who are first and second on interest. So target those, maybe do, like I said, anywhere from 15 to 20, depending on how many points I have. Obviously starting out, we only have 450. So sort of going through here, trying to target tackles, cornerbacks, definitely a quarterback, maybe some linebackers. So let me go through that and then I'll put together the total list and we'll see exactly where we're at and then I'll go over it with you. All right, so here's our list. I went ahead and spread it out a little bit. I got some of the higher rated 3 stars that were interested, a couple D ends, a D tackle, a quarterback, several cornerbacks, a really good tight end, some safeties, and then a couple wide receivers. Didn't have a lot of interest from wide receivers. And I want to go ahead and scout a few of these. So Johnny Gunn, let's see what you're looking on. It's always tough, right, when you're starting out, when you don't have a lot of recruiting points, because it makes it difficult to understand who is worth what. I'm just sort of trying to go through and seeing if I can highlight any, important stats on all these guys. Earl Doyle, that's a big one. This guy could be our next quarterback. Really not much there to go from. Now for the cornerbacks, I'm really looking at speed. Like Calcaterra's got 91 speed. That's really good. Lloyd, he looks like he might have some decent speed. Robert Wells, if you remember, our tight end situation is rough, so that would be a big pickup. Again, cornerback, I mean, he's showing Austin Sanders. He might have some speed. The safeties, I think it's important to get them scouted and see where they're at. So let me go back through here. So let me go ahead and go through, again, these receivers. We didn't get a lot of receivers. These were the best receivers that I had that were interested. He might have some speed. So my goal there is also, I think speed kills. If you've played college football, the speed is what it's about, especially in the receivers and the cornerbacks. So I think it's important to try to highlight some of these guys and then try to see, are you able to find any gems? So, okay, immediately Saunders, we know he's a bust. So that sucks. What about Marlon Lloyd? 88 speed. I mean, it's not great. Zone coverage is okay. Acceleration's all right. But I mean, they're 3-star, right? So I think the goal is you just start bringing in some talent and you see where it goes. Let's jump over to the schedule. All right, so looking at the schedule, so as you can see, we've got a couple of non-conference games to start. Tough game at South Carolina to start the season. Then we're going to go at East Carolina. I thought it was interesting to add UConn as our rival. We can't put Harvard in there, but UConn also being Connecticut. If you don't know, Yale's in Connecticut. So I thought that was interesting. And then basically the rest of the Sun Belt games, in conference games. All right, so let's pop over to coach abilities as well. I got 5 points to spin. We're going to go ahead and go with the recruiter. And I think quarterback, advanced like a quarterback is probably the best way to start. Like I said, we need a quarterback. Our quarterback is a senior, and he's, I think, our second or third best player. So it's important to get some talent in at that position, so that'll help us. Let's go ahead and advance the week as well and jump over to doing some recruiting for week 2 because we have a bye week. So we need to go ahead and get this recruiting going. All right, so I found a few gems. Gunn is one at right in. I did a little bit more on Doyle, but really I didn't have a lot of points to fully scout. So I'm sort of going with it as it is. And we'll see where we're at the start of next week as we get ready for our first game. At that point, I think we go ahead and wrap it up for this episode. We're going to start next episode off with our game against South Carolina. I think that's going to be a big one. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. And let's continue on because we're going to rebuild Yale and we're going to bring them back to where they should be. See you guys next time.